Okay, so lay it on us, Ray. How bad is it? How worried should we be?
Well, I think you could look at this like a tsunami that's hit the virus itself and the social distancing, and then what are the consequences in terms of the wreckage when you look at it. And I think you have to think of that as incomes and balance sheets, you know? So it was a tremendous income hit. And then the balance sheets, losses, and who has what savings and so on. And then how is that dealt with? And in order to understand that, you have to realize that there are these holes in income and the holes in the balance sheets. And then you have to realize that there is the production of money and credit. And who produces that money and credit? Okay, the money and credit comes in different flavors. There is US dollar money and credit. There is euro dollar money and credit. And so when you look at the world and you're seeing it, you're seeing a situation that is the same as existed really in the 1930 to 45 period, in that now we're seeing the production of a lot of debt, a lot of borrowing by the government. We're seeing zero interest rates and not the traditional kind of monetary policy, but the producing of a lot of money and credit. So the Federal Reserve is buying the Treasury's debt, and the Treasury is getting that money to mostly Americans in some imperfect but remarkably large way. And the Europeans are doing the same in their way. That bank is a smaller bank because the world lives with about 70% dollars and only a small percent euro, and they will produce theirs for theirs. And there aren't many banks around the world. And so the rest of the world is going to have gaps, holes that won't be filled. So if you think about that and you say, American printing of money and the borrowing will leave us with a lot of debt and monetization. That's something interesting to talk about, and we need to talk about that. Who will pay these bills, and how will that be shared will be something we need to talk about. But you will know that you will get that money, and that the Europeans will get their versions of that money. But we are in a new world, and that world is most similar to the 1930 to 45 world, and a lot of the world will not get that money and credit. So there'll be a big differentiation as to which entities benefit and which entities don't. And there'll be a big collaboration as to how we will deal with that bill and who will end up with what. A big question of wealth distribution and all of that. So that's the big thing that's going to be happening.